Toby was speaking a couple of days off the back of the Notts County game. What were your thoughts on how it unfolded?
Yeah, a tough day in terms of, I think, especially for us to have the lead and then to obviously not come away with at least a point. Obviously very frustrating and disappointing. Obviously a great atmosphere, a great game to be involved in. Just a shame that we couldn't come away with at least a point from where we were.
And I know they scored early in the second half. If you kept it in front a touch longer, they might have got a bit more twitchy.
Yeah, I think that's probably what changed it. Obviously they scored to equalise, and I think, 5-10 minutes in, obviously their crowd then get up, which makes it hard to then build on. So looking back on it, obviously if we could have changed a few things in terms of how we approached the initial first 5 minutes of that second half, could have been a bit different, a bit more sort of defensive minded myself especially. And then obviously see where we end up sort of 10-15 minutes into that second half and things could change.
But obviously towards the back end of the first half you pulled off an assist that I don't think anyone was really expecting from you.
No, it was obviously for me, if I can chip away with assists and goals playing it right back, then that's something that I want to do. Obviously for myself personally, it wasn't my greatest in terms of my defensive performance, which is first and foremost what I've got to do, but obviously something like that is always nice to come by.
And it was your first experience in front of a massive travelling spot. I know you played at Mansfield as well, but there was nearly 3,000 Mariners in Nottingham. What was that like for you? Yeah,
I said that when I initially signed. Obviously I knew all about the support that the club brings, and it was great for myself personally to have come from non-league, playing in front of small crowds, to then having that as a following. They were unbelievable right from the get-go, and we're going to need them throughout the whole season, and they were brilliant. And I've had lots of fans messaging saying that's what the away support's like, so if we can get that each week it'd be brilliant.
And how much does that help you guys on the pitch when you've got that backing?
It's massive for us. Obviously when you first come out and you hear the sort of the roars from the crowd and you hear them getting behind you, it's brilliant. Obviously we need them on our side. It plays a huge part. Can just drive us on when we need that extra bit, and that's what they were doing Saturday from the get-go.
It's been a tough start for the season. Obviously we've played 3 games in all competitions, still waiting for the first win. How are you guys approaching training at the minute, and what's the mood like in the camp? Yeah,
the mood's always got to be good. It's a great dressing room. It's probably one of the best dressing rooms I've been in, to be fair, since I've settled in here, and that's what it's got to be. There's lots of positive characters. We knew that the start of the season would be tough, and I think this is probably the toughest League Two's probably been since the 2 have come up and the ones that have come down from League One. So for us, training's always got to be intense. We've always got to be at it, which we are, and we know that if we put in the performances, then the results will come.
And at the minute, games are coming thick and fast. You've got a chance to put Saturday's defeat behind you tomorrow night against Salford. Yeah, that's a good thing when games are coming as quick as they are. There's always a chance to put things right, and football's a funny game in terms of how quickly things can change. So like I said, Saturday's done now, and then move on to tomorrow night. In the all one of a number of new defenders, as well as you've got Jake Eastwood and Harvey Cartwright as new keepers to link up with, as well as new wingers. What's your bedding in period been like at the club? Really good.
I think obviously the week away that we had in Spain was a real chance for us to bond, because again, some of us haven't played too much football. I think we had 2 or 3 games in pre-season before we got into it, whereas then we sort of got to know each other as people off the pitch and on the pitch, which helps. And now that we're sort of getting into the thick of it, it's interesting to see those partnerships sort of forming. We know what people like to do, what they don't like to do, and we can sort of work off each other on that now.
And you've moved over to Lincolnshire from over the west of the Pennines. How are you settling into the area?
Yeah, really good. It's different to Manchester back home, but yeah, really liking it down here. Everyone's dead friendly, and it's made life easy now that I'm finally settled in. Can have my place to myself, and like I said, only short distance from the training ground as well, which always makes it helpful.